Greetings, dear people. This is Mark Emery coming to you today with a short presentation, at least shorter than normal for me. We're going to talk about surviving the new economy. And I don't think I need to explain that to anybody. We're living in a new world. The economy is changing dramatically. The workforce is changing dramatically. Survivability is going to be tenuous for a very large number of people. And so these are things that we have to take into consideration and do some planning. You've got to be prepared for this. In fact, this presentation actually builds off of my last video, which I highly recommend that you review, called Are People Prepared for What's Coming? And in that video, we get into quite a bit of detail as to what lies ahead in the very near future, just a very few weeks ahead of us. Okay, and it's nothing nice. So this is coming one way or the other, and you will either survive it or you'll be a victim, depending on how ignorant you choose to remain or how proactive you are in educating yourself and creating a proactive plan to stay 2 steps ahead of these socialists that are trying to force you into a corner. All right, so let's jump right into it. You wonder, well, what does this have to do with the community support network? And we're going to talk about that and what the community support network is all about in relation to this grave social crisis that we're dealing with. All right, so I'll talk a little bit about that. The community support network is, in the big picture, only the first phase of Strategy 2020. So Strategy 2020 encompasses a series of educational benefits, opportunities, chances to network with other people, expand our horizons, build upon our knowledge, develop opportunities for business and financial success that will enable us to navigate these very treacherous waters that lie ahead. Okay? So there are a number of parts to this puzzle. Community support network is the starting point, but it's not the end point. It's not the end all, okay? And I'll try to help you visualize how that works in just a few minutes. All right, so we're living in a new world. It's an entirely new world. And as this diagram indicates, we are now being forced into a position, or at least the attempts are being made, to track everybody on the planet. The excuse is the COVID-19 virus. And, they have now these wonderful little apps you can download onto your phone, and when someone is tested positive, that will be noted on their cell phone, and when you pass them in the park, a little bell will go off in your cell phone, in your app, to tell you, oops, you've been in contact with somebody who has tested positive. All right? Now, what is this contact tracing all about? Contact tracers will pick up on this data and will be contacting you to notify you that you've been in contact, which means you need to go into a 14-day quarantine, even though you're perfectly healthy. Oh, you came within a certain distance of this infected person, you're going to have to go into quarantine. And if you don't have space in your house to separate yourself from the rest of your family, either you will be taken out of the house or others in your family will be taken out. All right? If there was ever any more hideous plan on the face of this earth, I don't know what it is. So, you do your quarantine, your 14 days. You go back out to the park or to a restaurant or any place in the public, and you hear a little ding on your phone. Oops, you've been in contact again with somebody. you're going right back into quarantine. So do you see how this works? Okay, first of all, your entire movement becomes a part of a database. Your whereabouts, your associations, your friends, your contacts, people you like to associate with, locations that you hang out. You have no more privacy. Your right to privacy has just been abolished. Your right to freedom and freely move about has been abolished. All right? So where does that put you? That puts you right here, like a monkey in a cage. You are subject to permanent quarantine, or at least sufficient quarantines to effectively ruin your life so that you can't work, you can't associate, you can't travel, you can't get on a plane, you can't live a life as a free person, and you are a monkey in a cage. But there's good news. The good news is there is a way to get a get out of jail free card. And you know what that is? All you have to do is get injected. Now, do you know anything about these injections? It's not a vaccine. Forget about vaccines. It's not going to be a vaccine. It's an injection. Let me tell you just a few things that I've learned from my research. All right, number one, there are substances in this injection which will alter your DNA. That alteration of your DNA is effectively going to remove or nullify your desire to seek God. And no, that's not extreme. No, I'm not being religious. Do your research. All right? So, I don't need to tell you what that means. Okay? In addition to that, if that weren't enough, we don't even need to get into all of the toxic chemicals and ingredients that make up this elixir from hell. But one thing that will be in here will be nanotechnology. These are little machines that operate on the molecular level, which will enable you to be tracked by satellite. Again, no privacy. Every move you make be a matter of record in the database. So as you can see, this get out of jail free card basically requires you to sacrifice your life. Think about it. Okay? So let's just put it this way. That ain't going to happen for a lot of people. But you've got to know how to deal with this. And there are ways of dealing with this, and that's why I'm here talking to you today. But I want you to realize the reality of the situation. This is serious. So what does this have to do with the community support network? All right, it has everything to do with the community support network. Let me explain. Community support network is not a money game. All right, it's a starting point to become a member of a community with access to resources, knowledge, education, and so many different topics that will transform your life. Okay, now we're living in a crazy world. It's completely upside down. Good is bad, white is black. You know the routine. All right, but to deal with this, we have to know what the problem is, first of all. We have to know what is the strategy to deal with it. What are the tools available to manage that strategy. And then we need to know how to use these things to successfully navigate a path to preserve the freedom, the integrity of our rights, of our families, of our futures. Okay? This is the core of the Community Support Network. It's knowledge and access to information. And a center is being built right now, a virtual center where members will be able to log in and have access to a wealth of knowledge in dealing with these issues. Okay? So that starts with the Lighthouse Law Club. The Lighthouse Law Club is working in conjunction with the Community Support Network. Whereas the membership to the Lighthouse was previously $1,950, let's just say $2,000. It is now being offered free to qualified CSN members. So what does that mean, qualified? Qualified simply means that a CSN member will make at least 2 referrals and work with them so they at least have 2 referrals. Why? Because this information needs to go viral. This needs to grow exponentially out into the world, not only in America, but across the world. We're spreading information virally, just like this virus is spreading. You get it? So this is the vehicle, Community Support Network is the vehicle to create that virility, that viral marketing scenario so that this information can get out. And not only that, it's going to create economic solvency for people. But the Lighthouse Law Club has the tools. It has the knowledge. It has lined up and aligned itself with people in the legal community, with research, with strategies, with documents, with lawsuits, with sharp teeth, which will enable each and every one of us as members to stand tall, stand strong, and fight back if we're ever encroached upon and our individual liberties are violated, or if there are any attempts to do so. All right? So people who are properly equipped with the right knowledge and legal resources will be able to effectively defeat this onslaught which is being brought upon our rights, our liberties, and our future. This is a war. It's a spiritual battle being fought between the minions of evil here on earth and the good people who will stand to defend themselves for the benefit not only of themselves but their children, their grandchildren, and their posterity. This is a critical time, folks. In addition to that, the Community Support Network, as I mentioned, is developing a virtual community which will enable us to fully develop various opportunities in the digital economy. So that, let's say, for example, you're living in a place where things are getting kind of dicey. Security is an issue. Your political leaders are an issue. Look at all the people that are bailing out of Minneapolis, Seattle, California. The leadership is destroying those areas. People are leaving by the hordes to a more sensible place to live, where the leadership has at least some clue of what their job is. So, given that, let's say you need to leave for whatever reason. It could be political reasons, it could be legal reasons, it could be health reasons, it could be natural disaster situations that require you to leave. If you're actively engaged in the digital economy with a successful, thriving business that can be run virtually anywhere, you go find yourself a nice Wi-Fi enabled hammock on the beach in Costa Rica, run your business from there for a couple of weeks until you decide where you want to be permanently. I've done that. Many of you have done that. And I tell you, there is no better sense of freedom than that right there. This is what Community Support Network is going to help you achieve. Okay? So that's important. That's critical. All right, so we're talking about viral marketing. All right, the Community Support Network, yes, it does have a 3x10 forced matrix feature to support the donation system. This is a gifting program. It's very simple. The benefit of this is that we can attain leverage. Leverage is what you use when you want to get wealthy. Example, someone sits down and writes a book. It's a great book. It's a fantastic book. Are they ever going to get wealthy selling them one at a time at the local flea market on Saturday mornings? No. They need leverage. Leverage will get you in front of the largest sized audience possible. And you do that either with a huge marketing budget to get you on the New York Times bestseller list for your book, or you do that through a successful distribution system called network marketing. It's been used for years. It's as old as the hills. It's called word of mouth advertising. And that's what we're doing with the Community Support Network. All right, viral marketing really works best word of mouth. 3 people who tell 3 people who tell 3, and that just continues exponentially. That's what we're doing in the Community Support Network with this knowledge and information, not only on the legal side, but also on the economic side. And no, this is not a pyramid. People who are uninformed on marketing systems, they don't understand network marketing. That network marketing is the single most successful distribution method and business model of the last 50 years. More millionaires have been created through network marketing than any other business model in existence. So do not confuse network marketing or viral marketing with an illegal pyramid scheme, okay? People who are uninformed sometimes have that knee-jerk reaction. All right, so here we're creating the power of duplication, exponential growth. We're getting the information out to the world, not only from an informational empowerment standpoint, but also from an economic empowerment standpoint, where they start receiving more donations of a higher value as their network grows. Okay, I'm not going to explain that here today. We've got other videos that explain the details of how that works with the Community Support Network. All right, but don't confuse the two. All right, let me explain some key differences. Okay, here's why it's not what some people think or refer to as an illegal pyramid scheme. First of all, there's virtually no risk. All right, because you're going to make a one-time donation of $25, and with your very first referral, you've got your money back. Does that sound like a pyramid? One referral? 1 for 1. 2 referrals and you've doubled your money. Where can you do that? So there aren't any losers. Everybody wins here. Even if you joined, made the donation, and nothing else happened beyond that, A, you're a good Samaritan, you've helped somebody. Congratulations, God bless you. B, take advantage of the information and education that you're going to have access to, and you have to win. You can't lose. Value will be added to your life via the information and the training that you'll have access to, okay? So no, this is not a money game. This is not an unsustainable, exponential growth money game. This is an educational program that has a donation feature that incorporates viral marketing. Everybody wins. All right? So in this virtual community, you're going to make new contacts, new friends. You're going to see new opportunities beyond the community support network that are coming down the pike, that are already in existence, that are already very successful. You're going to learn about these opportunities. You're going to learn about saving, investing, using automated trading platforms to generate passive income, how to build a business, develop your financial plan. You're going to learn how to preserve your privacy, how to manage all of this, and a whole lot more. Now, where can you get that at any price, let alone for free? Because this is basically free. $25 one time, make one referral, you've got your money back, and you got nothing in the game. So again, there's no risk. That is not an illegal pyramid scheme. Please, don't insult us with that kind of thinking. So there's only one thing to do. There's only one intelligent choice to make. When it's all upside and no downside, and our futures are at stake, and people need this critical information to protect their property, their privacy, their families, their livelihood, their futures. And they also need some solution to the economic disaster that is already upon us. There's only one intelligent choice to make. All right? So here's what you do. Get with the person who referred you. They'll get you set up with the Community Support Network. Once you're registered, you've got 72 hours to make one-time only donation of $25. Or the registration will expire. All right, so when you register, be prepared to move. And if you don't have a sponsor, just go to csn.world. That's csn.world. And just sign up. A sponsor will be assigned to you. All right? So let's make this happen, folks. There's a lot riding on this. Our future hangs in the balance. And Community Support Network is here to support you. We look forward to working with you. Take care, and God bless.